Good evening again. This is Teacher Felbert of Sanctuary for the Stumbled Podcast. Okay, so I'm Teacher Felbert. I'm 49 years old. I'm a teacher and an artist, filmmaker, and I freelance as internal, external auditor. And I can do or become a forensic accountant at the same time. Okay, so it's tax season, and tax practitioners are actually kind of pulling through external audit proposals to various what you call this tax clients in the past, and there are stream of or roster of old clients, and there are also new tax clients that are coming in. Okay, so this is very important because in the past we used to prepare audited financial statements without actually trying to do exhaustive audit as far as substantive checking of corroborating evidences and supporting documents like costs and expenses and revenues for the matter. So official receipts and sales invoices and all others if there are tax due and you have to have some sort of deduction aside from the legitimate costs and expenses, there are what we call 2307 that are being given by our suppliers and other third-party outsourced services. Okay, so they are put in place, and they're actually because they are actually a deduction from what's supposed to be what tax due for a particular taxable year, right? So there. I made mention about I've made mention about some scaffolding works right now. Yeah, in terms of what you call this? In terms of that we are actually instituting. Okay, as far as pulling through audited financial statements and preparation of income tax returns following the not really distraction, but following the raid of a particular office in Libis, Quezon City, which used to be haven for the four fraudulent companies that sell fake official receipts as sources of input taxes, and for VAT returns purposes, and at the same time those fake receipts are actually used also as costs or any a legitimate operating expense, so that they can be deducted also in the preparation of the income tax return. So they are actually deducted from the revenues for a particular year. Okay, so that your net income is kinda be reduced. All right, so there. And right now, following that raid of the four companies upon that raid by the NBI, there were actually 50 other companies that were inculcated by them, usual buyers of fake official receipts that are used as input taxes. Okay, so that your VAT payable are reduced. Okay, not really zeroed. Okay, because you are supposed to comply as well. Okay, so from output taxes, for example, you are a business and you have revenues here, professional services, whatever. So the four companies are actually coming from hospitality industry, construction. Okay, because when you talk about construction, manual labor. Okay, laborers are actually we could get them from the community, and they don't have official receipts, so that's why we cannot get well, official receipts from them, or any document that can be sourced of an input tax. And well, it happens that the labor as well, not really a variable expense, but an overhead is kind of like a material share or percentage in terms of like how construction is being pulled through. And hospitality industry, as I said earlier in my prior talk, that hospitality industries, when you like go to the palenque, they don't actually issue official receipts. So that's why hospitality industry or restaurants, for example, hotel operations don't have like as massive input taxes as they are supposed to be getting. Okay, and the one is like in trading of like hardware materials, and the other one is importation. Okay, so well, it's been like a practice here in the Philippines since I came here to Manila in 1997. Excuse me, and I freelanced as like external internal auditor of various companies. Also, I'm moonlighted for actually being an internal auditor of OB Montessori and branches, and like a college teacher. So I kind of like was aware of this thing that we could buy official receipts from unscrupulous group of people that we buy like at 2% or 2.5. So that's better than paying 12%. All right. So what I'm saying now is, because there are already clients that have been, that have been engaged to doing their audited financial statements and income tax returns for that matter for taxable year 2023. Okay, so aside from my two friends signing auditors that are quite well, they were like actually leveling up in the practice of like tax practice and like preparation of income tax returns. Well, we're like kind of like charging a little higher from usual. And there are actually two signing auditors aside from Jennifer Roncesvalles, because she was implicated by that's supposed to be by Kununa Sindicato, but actually she's not part of it. The case was actually dismissed, and Jennifer was kind of like cleared from that accusation because she's not really part of the syndicate. Okay, she just signed for the four companies, and I guess the cook of the four companies as well. Okay, during the pandemic in 2020. All right. So there. So what I wanted to tell you guys is, wherever in the world there's this practice of like doing some enhancement of the audited financial statements and the preparation of financial statements as well. Okay, so what I want you to know is, aside from us kind of like, remember that there are like scaffolding works, okay, and really surveillance, but scaffolding works, and some tax practitioners are being flagged already as well. So I want you guys to remember of the fraud threshold. Okay, so we have to remember that overstatement of cost and expense, overstatement like above 30% is already a fraud. Okay, the same way that understatement of revenues is also a fraud. Okay, so how do we determine your total revenues for a particular year? So we have to account for all the receipts that are being issued, all right, or any other document like sales invoices maybe. Okay, so cost and expense, we also have to determine all legitimate expenses. Okay, so chances are sometimes we overstate them, but make sure that we can't overstate like more than 30%, otherwise it's a fraud. Okay, so we have to inculcate this. Okay, so that the people in the bureau also kind of do kind of like scaffolding works among themselves also, because they're also being seen by Department of Finance, because they're under Department of Finance. All right, so there, so that we can have like good governance and kind of like because, and at the same time eventually so that people in the the select few that are into massive corruption can like actually feel that I think they really have to taper off also, because we guys are actually doing what we're supposed to be doing. Okay, so there, and and what else? Okay. Yeah, we're pulling through preparation of audited financial statements because, well, I'm not a certified public accountant and I am not like a signing auditor. So I have two signing auditors, actually four of them. The two are kind of like, high end. So I say, I'm sorry, but they cannot sign for like a mere, well, 30,000. It's like 50,000. Okay, so however, there are two signing auditors that are quite affordable, not very expensive. So I hope you understand, guys, also that the reason why we're actually charging a little higher now is because we are also made kind of like we do some kind of like preparation of working paper. Okay, that's what we call working trial balance to support whatever is the what the document actually will prompt issuance of CPA certificate or independent auditor's report. Okay, so there's like such a massive kind of like work as far as we are concerned, and yes, and there are like overhead that we are also have yeah. Maintaining. So I guess I hope you guys can actually understand. We have to understand each other like we used to do, like mutual understanding. Okay, so there, and what else? I made mention earlier or early today that I'll talk about how to go through an internal auditing work, okay, as an internal auditor consultant to a particular company, okay. So usually internal auditing can happen within a company, okay, but right now since it's a discipline, sometimes internal auditing can be done outside of like within the company, okay. Like for example, I was made to work as internal auditor consultant of like FEU hospital pharmacy, and then eventually operations of the hospital itself. Okay, so I'd like to talk about it next time, maybe tomorrow. Okay, so because there are like three facets. Okay, there are like three segments that I'll be talking about internal auditing. Okay, so like financial, operations, and at the same time systems. Okay, so since systems is the very source that's no matter how sophisticated it is, the more it gets sophisticated, the more it is the source of like corruption. Okay, so I'll be talking about it tomorrow. Okay, as well as like my work with FEU, details of that, how to prepare an audit program, how to prepare an audit, kind of like lay out audit procedures to pull through an internal audit with an audit objective of this. Okay, so there, I'm gonna talk about it tomorrow. Okay, but you guys want me to prepare your audited financial statements. I want you to realize that you have to like support all your costs and expenses, and at the same time you have to tell me also all your sources of revenues. All right. At the same time, if there are 307, you have to provide it as well. So because I cannot like prepare a working trial balance if these are not given to me, okay? And my signing auditors, the two of them, aside from the two others, okay, will never ever sign anymore of prepared financial statements, audited financial statements, if they are not given a working trial balance, okay, to support whatever that they are signing for. All right. So there, this is Teacher Felbert again, Sanctuary for the Stumbled Podcast. Okay, I am a teacher and a filmmaker and artist filmmaker, and I freelance as internal auditor, and I can also work as a forensic accountant. Okay, in the future, maybe I'd be also talking about how to pull through a work as far as what I call this. Forensic accounting, okay, doing forensic accounting. It's very kind of like very mind kind of like work, mind blowing work. Okay, so there, what else? Very excited, very exciting work as far as like accounting and tax, like, or internal auditing for that matter. Okay, so I hope you guys are gonna give me work. Okay, so I am really saying sorry for all my tax clients in the past that maybe we didn't understand each other, but I have to tell you that you are cared for, you are actually loved, and well, I can actually, like, don't worry about it. It's not like so much that we talk about. There are so much that we need to address as well, but well, since I'm getting already interns, like follow them, and because as bipolar, ADHD bipolar case, I cannot pull through like a mundane massive desk works. Okay, I hope you understand that, guys. And well, as far as like, you know well well, in the periphery, teaching my interns how to go through works, desk works, I can do that as well. Okay, so there. So that's all for tonight. Time is like 8 20. All right, it's 8:20 in the evening. Okay, so there, I'm here actually in Tropical Hat in Araneda Center actually. So I'm about to go home. So there, and I hope I'm gonna see you again, Cubao, tomorrow. Okay, bye bye. I love you, Cubao.